What's up, guys? James from Mac Audio, and in this video series we are going to talk about common misconceptions of car audio. So we've come up with 7 common misconceptions that we hear about all the time, and we want to basically go over them. And this it's going to be a 2-part series and kind of debunk these misconceptions to help you guys make better decisions with your purchases. Any questions or advice on this, please reach out and hit us up, and we'll go over it. But remember, it's going to be a 2-part series. I'm trying to keep these video series kind of short to keep your attention. So we'll go over some now, and you'll get more later on. Common misconception number 1. The more I spend on speakers, the louder they will be. A lot of people come into my store and they just want to replace their speakers in their car because they think they'll be louder because they're more expensive speakers. Or they come in and they say that they're not looking to spend a lot because they don't want to blow people out of the water or them to be super loud. Well, that's not how it works. I mean, generally, when you spend more money on speakers, you do get a higher sensitivity, and that's a different topic for another video, but it's not a big difference, right? So as you move up through these speakers here, we have our entry level to our high end, and there's a huge price difference in these speakers. They're about the same power handling, right? Within, I'm gonna say 30 watts of each other, RMS. So as you move up, the power that the speaker accepts doesn't really change. The other thing to consider is the speaker isn't producing the power. The source unit, amp, the radio, whatever it is, to the speaker is producing the power. So if you got an amplifier that's putting out 30 watts, you're only getting 30 watts to the speaker. The speaker cannot create more power. So spending more on speakers does not make your speakers louder. It makes your speakers sound better. You're paying for the material they're made from. You're paying for the engineering that it took to create those speakers. Common misconception number 2. The higher the watts in the box, the louder my speakers will be. Well, as you can see here, these speakers say 30. And these speakers say 200, right? So a lot of times people think when they go, to say Walmart or even, here with these Hertz, if it says a bigger number on the box, it's gonna be a louder speaker. Well, going back to the first misconception, it's not the same because, the end of the day, you're still putting the same amount of power to the speaker. These numbers are what the speaker can handle. And the big thing that you want to pay attention to is the RMS versus max. So here, this says 30, it's 30 RMS. This 200 is max. They're 2 totally different numbers, and we talk about this in another video, but you always want to compare apples to apples, right? So this is an apple, this is an orange. They're not compatible. Here you can see another one, it says 60, right? This 30 and this 60 are comparable numbers, right? That's the RMS of the speaker. And that's what you want to look at. But at the end of the day, it's about the power you're putting to the speaker, and this is what it can handle. So yes, if it has the same RMS number and one is higher, the speaker can handle more power to be louder, but just by putting it in your car isn't gonna make it louder without that power behind it. Common misconception number 3. I don't need a sub, I've outgrown that. A lot of people come into my store and that's exactly what they tell me. Oh, I like better sound in my car, but I don't need a sub, I've outgrown that. Well, what they really mean is I don't need my trunk rattling at a stoplight. I don't need the neighborhood hearing me come because I've outgrown that. But we all need a sub. A sub makes or breaks your system, in my opinion. And a sub a lot of times is the best bang for buck upgrade you can do for your system. Right? But we don't have to put a sub like this in your car. We can put something like this in your car that's going to complement your system and add to what you already have. If you think about it, if you go to the dealership and you buy a brand new car and they upgrade to the premium version, what are they adding? Or the premium sound system, I should say. What are they adding? They're adding a subwoofer and an amp to the vehicle. They give you a little more sound and a fuller sound. If you really want a good analogy, is think about a rock band and you take away the drums. Not all the drums, but the big drums. That band's not going to sound the same. It's not going to be complete, right? So you need a sub in your system to make it complete and fill in your sound. Another good one is a sound bar at home, right? What do you get? You get the sound bar and you get a sub in the corner. And if you've ever listened to it without that sub in the corner, it's just not there. So all systems need a sub. They just don't need a big sub blasting a lot of power. They just need a smaller sub. I mean, some people want the big sub, but a smaller sub that complements your existing system, completing your sound. So that's enough for video number 1 of common misconceptions. Stay tuned for video number 2, or if you found this elsewhere on the web, go ahead to our YouTube channel and search for video number 2, and you can get the rest of the series.